let's begin. Let's do our thing. So today, I will be making walls that look good, hopefully. And if I don't, then we'll quit the game and make miniatures. I'll make miniature dioramas. But okay. So yesterday, I made a little process for importing complicated shapes like this. It's not very good, but it is a start. Well, both the process and the wall aren't terribly good. But what I want to figure out is actually, like, how do I want this object to look? Because it's eventually going to be the surface of this wall, but I'm actually thinking, I think this wall looks better than the thing. Hang on, I have to sneeze. It was less of a sneeze and more just aggressively blowing my nose. But as I was saying, I think I actually like how this wall looks. I think it's good enough. And I don't want to just, like, I don't want to spend too much time on it. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to spend too much time on it. And I'm going to basically apply the same rules that I was using on this for my other, I think basically decompose this into convex shapes, specifically for the collision. And then actually, well, no, I still want this to be prefabs. It would still be better if this could be split up into little pieces that I could then reuse. And I think this one is a start, but I think what I'd actually want is kind of the opposite, where instead of having this down here and then this on the side, we have basically little segments where, like, you have, you know, the wall piece and then you have a pillar. And that would make a lot more sense. And so I guess let's bring in Blender and do that. So the big thing to do, basically just get all of these. Cube. Wall 1. High res. And eventually, what should I do with this? I don't know where I want to put this. Maybe I put it down in here. Actually, since this isn't going to be animated, we can just put it in here. And then eventually we'll just play that. Alright. So I think 4 meters up. Oh. There we are. I think I actually want this to go up 1 more meter. And then we do... That's actually 1 meter, and then extrude faces along normals like 0.5. Like this. And so then we have like a little pillar thing. And what I'm going to do is we'll have this be as it was, except this will now be a novel thing. And then I think what I'd like to do, maybe have this be a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, and then also bevel this bad boy. Smooth. Shade smooth. And we can have like hardened normals here and like a 0.2. And so now what we can do is we can just run this, and it generates all of our things. And we can see that it has multiple objects. So like this one, for example, doesn't do anything. This one is the whole thing. That doesn't make sense. That wasn't the plan. That wasn't the deal. Oh wait, did I not? Hang on. I don't think I actually divided up the materials. Oh yeah, that explains that. Okay, so now we can assign this there. And then we can run this. And then it splits it up into all of our beautiful bits. Not quite labeled correctly, but labeled the same way. So at least it's consistent. So now we have high-res mesh, low-res mesh without the bevel, and then our two convex shapes, which will be our beautiful collisions. And then we come back into here. It looks exactly as it should, except for these should be swapped. So I think brick, what I'd like is probably mud brick. Let's actually just make this a unique thing. I'm just going to do our simple mud brick here, and then our mud brick ground here. Admittedly, there is sort of the awkward bit of the bevel, but what I can do is simply ignore that. And so, I think the big question is, I guess I need a wall with the end cap and then a wall without the end cap, so that way we can smoothly blend between them-ish smoothly. Okay, so how does this feel in the game? Well, hi, welcome back to the stream. I'm making walls. And then I think my next step will be making more work on the buildings, probably. But okay, how does this thing feel? I mean, it doesn't feel like weird or wrong or anything, so I guess that's a good start. And I think it's probably about the right size. We could just use this as our, like, starting point. And then I think what I should have is probably, instead of making like a wall without the endpoints, or like without these end caps, I just make one that's really long. And so we just have like we will save this. Actually, get rid of our custom properties. This will be wall 2 long. And then we export this. And it feels a lot longer than it should, but oh well. So now I can decompose this. Oh, right. I need to do all of our stuff. So this needs to be a static body 3D. It needs to have the correct... Oh, it does have the correct thing. Interesting. So now I can see our beautiful simplification. And then this will have the same things here, if you like that. And then, I guess just copy the materials from here. Actually, let's save this as mud brick. Material. Environment. Stone. Probably. Brick mud. There we are. So this goes into areas, environment, entities environment, and then into stone, and then we have our walls in here somewhere. Yeah, there they are. Okay, so now the question will be, are these enough to replace most of the stuff here? Because we can have like little bespoke elements, like I'm assuming I'm gonna make it so that this thing, for example, is unique, or our like door there. Yeah, so I'm gonna let's remove this bit here. And also, how do I want to split this so that I maintain like a convex shape here? Ah, well. Let's have the orchard. Let's have the wall as a new thing here. Like empty plain axes. So this is now going to be like orchard walls. In fact, we should probably have like stuff like properly oh wait, we have the wall in here. Okay, good. And that's fine there. Do I want the trees as like their own little thing? I don't care. What we're gonna do, we're gonna link to the past. Stone, wall 1. Collection. And then wall 2. Collection. And I think we can just, okay, we can just move these around and like duplicate them and all that stuff. And so I think the way that I'm going to do it is I'm just going to use these walls come hell or high water. Let's see, let's make this a new material. Wait. Oh, right. Okay, I see. If we do this, then we have the materials as they should be. How do I make it? I want to make this like a wireframe, I think. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I think the real challenge here is going to be, hang on, what is this? Hide this. Oh, I can't hide that. You know what, let's put these on the corners for now. And then I'll figure out how to, like, blend all of this together. Because, yeah, we might need quite a few of these different prefabs. Who knew? And I think I'll also have to make a note of, like, being consistent with how they work. Or, like, being consistent about the orientation that I use. Yeah, the big thing I'm seeing here. We'll need, like, a medium wall. Yeah, that's fine for now. And I suppose one of the things... Well, I guess I should keep an eye out. Will it actually look good to use these, Hang on. Too many kiddos running about. But yeah, will it actually look good to assemble this out of pieces? Like, you know, visually you know, my goal is to have it be, like, visually interesting, but also more performant than it was, by having, like, the more efficient collision shapes, the smaller colliders, stuff like that. But my fear is it'll look cobbled together out of predefined pieces, so I probably need just a large number of pieces, which makes sense. Actually. And I think once we get this in, I don't really need this here anymore. Because, like, it's just a wall, you know? Though actually, now that I've deleted it, well... Like, do I want, like, this here, even though it's going to look kind of weird? Or do I want, like, a nicer prefab that has, like, a door in it? Oh, wait, I was going to make a, Hang on. We can't delete that yet. There we go. We need to basically have at least this part here. And then this will be turned into our beautiful work. And then the rest of this, let's see, for now I'll just do like this here. Let's make sure I can actually, like, understand where things are supposed to be. So I think an important part will be having these at, like, consistent intervals and consistent directions. And then maybe ones that have like 2 ends. Okay, anything else that I need here? Oh wait, no, I'm still forgetting. So like origin to center of mass. There we go. That's what I want. Let's start with making the walls, or let's make a medium length wall, and then let's make like an extra long wall, I think. So this will be wall 3 mid. Or wall 3 medium. You know, actually, what I'd like is cursor to world origin, and then center to... No, origin to cursor. And that's what I want. And then we can do this and export. And export our beautiful little thing. Okay, and this will have static body. Okay, that and that. And then bricks. There we go. Thank you, Godot, for constantly adding underscores where I don't want them. I love programs that do things that I don't want. But okay. Then we link to this. And so I think my goal should be to, I guess just make it consistent, make it work. And also I'm trying to figure out how exactly do I want this to look. I realize now. What I need for this one is to make it so the collider, or the collisions, no, the modifiers should be removed, but only if they're bevels. Basically, we go to text editor. And then what I'm going to do here, just for laziness sake, is I'm going to add 2 materials. So that way it just splits this into 3 bits. And so eventually it'll be 4 collision shapes. And this will be called like high res or something. What'll this be called? You know what? This is going to be arch or orchard arch high res. And you know what? I have the power to hide the trees. There we go. Because now all of these bad boys. Hopefully, okay, good. So now I can just hide all of those and actually have like a reasonable thing. And do I want this to get the same treatment? Maybe like, you know, have this be called high res. And for this one, I'll just do this be like low res collision. So that way it generates the static body and it generates the low resolution stuff. And this one will not have the bevel, but I will keep the solidify. So now, oh wait, did I accidentally, huh? What am I looking at here? Oh, it's, I don't understand. I don't even understand what I'm looking at. It's not even showing the right object. It's just showing a different object than the one that I've than the one I've clicked. What does it mean? Am I... Huh? I'm literally like pointing at the screen here, where, like, I click at an object and it does not show the object that I've clicked in the property menu. Did I like pin? What did I pin? What does this mean? Was that what I did? Did I click that? I think I did. I guess I did. So that means that I need my bevel modifier back. And yeah, eventually we'll just, and we don't even need two separate materials here. I'm just going to do that for the sake of that. And eventually it'll probably be a better looking thing. Like two separate meshes for each side. But for now I can finally come into here. I can remove this pesky bevel modifier. And I can make this smooth. And that means that we now have two beautiful things. Okay, now time for our real challenge, which is going to be making this look like half decent. Because I think what I might actually do is covertly make the wall slightly thinner at these very edges. And also, if I have the wall interior, I'm going to be so screwed, but we can just do something like this for now. Okay. We don't need anything else. We've got all that we need to make our master work. I think we actually need a smaller wall here, though. Because otherwise it goes down too far. I should keep this as it was for now. Unless I do this. And also I prefer this wall being like here. Okay, that seems fine. You know, and I'm also realizing it doesn't really make sense for the wall to come up like this. I don't care, actually. You know, it makes more sense for the pillar to be taller than the wall, like on this side, rather than the wall to be taller than the pillar, like on this side. I think what I need then is just double-sided walls. Like I said, just make 2 pillars. Oh wait, hang on. There we go. Okay. Wall 1. Go back to here. Do a barrel roll. There we go. So this is going to be wall 4 short double. Add modifier mirror on the wall, clipping and merge it. And now there we go. So we can see our beautiful smooth wall here. All right, and this should be wall 4 short double. Oh wait, but now we need to go through, so we need this, hang on, this bad boy right there. Because now we need to go through each modifier and erase them. Where is that? So that was down here. I duplicate this, duplicate.modifiers.clear. So how do we go through the modifiers in Blender? So bpi modifiers. What I'd like is to get the type of a thing. Is active over it. Data name. I wish it told me. So type. Enum in modifier types. Okay. So it should be bevel. Okay. For probably like key. Index key. In. Thank you, Blender, for the play-by-play here. Admittedly, that's an add-on that I deliberately have for... Holy shit. How do I Hang on. That's going to be so distracting. Actually, what if I just move up? What if I just go up here and then ignore it down here? So that way it can do as much as it wants down there in the corner. So index mod in enumerate duplicates dot modifiers, and we probably have like removal index equals this, or like remove if mod dot type equals bevel. Actually, what is this in? Like, where is this enum? Because I'm thinking it's probably in bpi.type. bpy.type. Oh, it says up here. Okay, good. bpy.types.blah. Okay, I hope it's just bpy.types.thing. Because I don't know how I'm supposed to figure out how to like use any of this code. This is why I keep using ChatGPT for Blender, or like, yeah, Blender scripting. Because it's like, where is this? Oh well. So let's just do if this is there, to remove dot. How do we append to an array in Blender or Python? I think that's also an issue, that I basically never use Python unless I'm scripting. Like specifically for Blender. Okay, it's just append. Index. Or so now I need to go back through the list in reverse, because what I need to do, actually, I can literally just do duplicates dot modifiers dot erase. We're only going to get, is it like erase at break? Remove bevel modifier if there is one. And so, can I do this? Module object has no attribute bevel. Okay, that makes sense. Then where is it? Bevel is not defined. That makes sense. That's why I thought it wasn't in there. Is it in modifier? So is it like bpy.types.modifier dot bevel? Type object has no attribute bevel. Okay, fucking ask ChatGPT then. Okay, where is the modifier type? So actually, let's go. In Blender Python, where is the modifier type defined? How is it used in code? How would I check? Is the type a string? Oh, it's just a string. Okay, so why is it called an enum here? Because it's not an enum. It's literally just like this. Okay, and that makes sense. Erase at doesn't exist. Python erase index of array. I wish it was like, hang on, let's get up the Python reference. I'm just realizing, does it have just like a normal like reference for like where the arrays are defined? Also, where's my stuff? So like if I search for append, okay, so that's an array. And so if we did like remove, okay, remove the first occurrence of X from the array. Okay, so we can just do that instead. So we can literally, we don't even need to iterate over things. We can just do for mod in duplicate.modifiers, erase mod. Not the most efficient use of our time. Oh, it was called remove. Okay, there we go. So now, it keeps all of our beautiful things. And now the main thing will be to make sure that it actually, like, does what I want. So, we have this collision. We have these, which are not correct. Something like value type section. Oh, in the documentation. Oh, that would make sense, yeah. Because yeah, I'm also curious if there is like a removing index. I'm surprised. It seems like there isn't. Like there's no like remove at X. At least in the standard thing. But okay, so ChatGPT's code has failed us. Unless I've, like, not done it correctly. Or, like, I edited it. Oh, wait, I did edit it. I forgot that I did this. So now we go back into here. Run this again. Curious. So we have the low res, which definitely does what I want. So that's good. And then we've got this, which does not do what it must do. Oh, wait, no. That's just high res. So yeah, this one has failed us. But why? It also seems like there's fewer than there were. So I guess what we have to do is we have to go through our selected objects, and then what we can do is, no, wait, that doesn't make any sense. New object. So the newly created object is this one, and then we select the thing, and then we set edit loose object. And so, oh, did I not save this? Man, how do I... There we go. Maybe that was the reason? No. What if we just did this temporarily, and then we, if false, and then what I'm going to do is just test this out. So this doesn't work. Oh, because it's, okay. Because for these ones, it actually needs to apply the modifier because, okay. Interesting. Well, I'll just apply the modifier then. It's not that complicated. But okay. Also there we go. So yeah, this whole thing here applying the modifier did not help us in this particular instance. Oh, wait. Ignore that for now. Boom. There we go. Now we got a 1 and a 2 and a 4. And we got our high res and we got our low res. Now is this thing exporting properly? Good. So instance count must be 0 to toggle whether custom data is used. Where is this coming from? Oh, probably from the farms. Wait, but this doesn't do it at all. Oh, I see. So... Wait, no, but this should be set to 0. Huh. You know what? I'm just gonna close this. Wait, no, I just realized I still have to have the farm open. Yeah, because we still needed to, like, be concerned about this. Okay. Double. Oh, wait, I have to do all my stuff. I wish I could add presets. Is there a way to do that? Because, like, ah, well. Also, that song's too much for me. And then wall 5, medium double. There we go. So this is wall 5, medium double. And then we'll do, last but not least, wall 6 long double. I'm realizing it would have made more sense to just have this little bit as like a separate prefab. Because then it could just be convex on its own. Ah, well. Okay, so now we do this again. Because now we can go through all of our walls with doubles. Oh wait, this needs to be 4. Okay. Wall 5 medium double. And then wall 6 long double. Okay, there we go. And then if push really comes to shove, I can have the... whatever I have. Oh wait, no. Some of these are fine, because these, for example, we're going to do individual origins. Like this. And then... link. What was that? Wall 4 short double? Stone. Wall 4 short double. There we go. Now you can see our beautiful intentional thing. Oh, wait. I have a good idea. I can just put little stop gaps as well. Like, I can just put, like, mesh cube. Bevel. And then... oh, wait. Hang on. Is this a short wall? No. We should do a short wall. I don't care. We're just going to name this one now, like, wall S body. Is it in the wrong collection? No, it's just at the extreme, very, very bottom. Oh wait, no, wrong thing. Orchard walls. Can I, like, collapse all There we go. So now we have a little bit better. Actually, do I want this to be... Hang on. We need to go back to text editor. Wait, why is this... Oh, this is the wrong thing? Where did I put it? Make low res. That's where it is. Okay. So we no longer need this one. We need make low res. That's going to be confusing. But okay, if mat count is less than equal 1, duplicate.name equals dash shape. So that means that I can just have this thing here. And I can do, actually, we could just do sBody. And then we can just have that as a static body there. Okay. Orchard walls. So what is this called? This is going to be wall high res. And maybe I should make this a child of the thing, because what happens now? Wall low res sBody. How do we reparent things in GD or in BPy? Parent set. Most of the BPy ops are meant to be called by the UI once a click. Okay, so you can just do bpy.data.objects. Okay, so I think what I can just do is just duplicate.parent equals original. And then we can run this instead. Oh. But... So that's correct, but then we need... Thank you, Blender, for not letting me... Okay. So... Oh, wait, no, this is original. Okay, so we can delete that. Run this again. Then... Okay, now it does what I want. So now if we have just one object, we don't do all the complicated stuff of creating the multiple shapes. We just create the little thing. So now this will work the same way as all these other ones, but also we should have the origin as the center of mass. And now we can also move this to the same location as this one. And just have this ready to go. Also, we should swap this with the link wall 6 long double. Wait, is this not even as long? Hang on, we need to fix our thing here. Did I forget to move this, maybe? But okay, now we can go back to here. There we go. Now it's probably a bit closer to where it should be. Oh wait, why are these called wall 2 instead of wall long? Oh wait. There we go. You can see our beautiful thing here. Also, I'm just realizing, I actually need this to be here, and then this one to be here, because this is the taller one. I don't understand what I'm actually doing, actually. Now that I'm looking at this, I realized I'm stupid. Because, like, this clearly... Yeah, I don't know what I'm looking at. This is the greatest puzzle of them all. How do I put the wall in here such that it, like, makes sense? I think what we need here is actually just a regular wall again. I'm so confused. Oh well. Let's just plop in the rest of these. Try to figure out how this whole thing's going to work together. Okay, so these little walls here. These will be for things that are just like unique little collisions. Wait, why is this? Fucking. Every single person is my enemy, as they say. Okay. Now we can finally start working. And yeah, the real thing, I think, my real concern is going to be basically if Godot is not doing batching, this is going to be slower in terms of like rendering until I figure out how to automatically batch things together. And I think that will also be an ordeal. Because I had a system for that, but it was just too complicated for me to figure it out. Actually, where's a wall medium? Do I want to just do, like, maybe another double-sided thing, and then we... Also, this is just some... well, whatever. I'll just do double these. Yeah, this works just fine. We can just squat them together a little bit more. You can see they all work together beautifully in perfect harmony. Yeah, I might do what I said I was going to do, where I subtly make it a bit tapered, so that way they're easily, or more easy to, like, fit one wall into another, without Z-fighting. But okay, does this even feel, like, substantially different or, like, better? I guess I think so. Let's just staple these together. In fact... do I want more attachment here? Yeah, I suppose this is kind of better, because this means that, like, I only have so much stepping, and I have a fixed height for my thing, so I can, like, be like, okay, that's getting too tall, so now I have to do something better. But oh well. What I really need is a good book, and to not work on the game for a bit. But I must continue. My work never stops. Okay, so I'm thinking we remove that, put one of our double-sided medium length, I guess just any old medium length, actually. Actually, I just realized, I think a double-sided long one is what the doctor ordered here. Yeah, that's okay. That's about right. Well, actually, the problem with this is that it's too tall. Yep, and I shall continue until I am dead and dying. Actually, we need to swap these around. Hmm. I wonder if I should just draw attention to the fact that the wall is irregular, or if I should try to hide it. There we are. Okay. That seems fine there. But the terrain will be the judge of this. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, we don't need these. There we are. There we go. Okay, and then let's just put another little wall in here. Actually, we can just do an Alt-D on this one. Oh, and I just realized my new system automatically deduplicates meshes, because it just takes the physical hash of any objects in here. Alright, so actually, which one is this one? What am I looking at here? This one, okay. So, I did that wrong. In fact, there we go. So now the last piece of the puzzle. How do I want to deal with this thing? I think I'm going to do... This might be controversial, but I'm just going to put some walls in here until it looks good. So I think... get these two in here, and then duplicate whichever one that this wall was. Oop, Shift D. And then, boom. Actually, what if we... Okay, there we are. A thing that looks marginally more interesting. Let's see how it fares in the world. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is for this thing, let's just put like brick mud for now. Oh, right, but this thing is, okay, I remember now. The reason that this is so weird. Oh, wait, but I fixed that. I can get this thing. Run this on it. Oh, wait. But, we should probably have, like, a static body that this is a child of. So that way these aren't, like, in here. So then we can do, like, cursor to... Or, I know. Actually, cursor to selected. Empty. Plain axes. PL. So let's say... Make 3D. So this is going to be kind of a wacky thing that I now have the ability to do. So this is going to be in walls, and then our archway is going to be inside of this thing. And then we do this. Okay. So now we have like this shape, this shape, this shape. This shape, which is empty. I don't know why that's there. Wait, hang on. Isn't this supposed to be two different shapes? Because, like, if we go to the high res, materials, we have 3 materials. Oh, wait, did I not assign these? No, I assigned them. Huh. I think now the issue is the fact that I haven't... I just had a good idea. What if I don't bother with this stuff here? And instead what I do is, no, I'm trying to figure out what exactly I want to do. How do I want to structure this thing? I like the idea of having a static body 3D here. And then just having all of that be one body, but I've just realized it's also kind of pointless. Oh, wait, no. Oh, wait, whoops. I deleted everything in here. You know what I'm going to do for now? just make this a collider. And also I'm going to remove these materials, so that way it's all just one thing. That way we can do like this. There we go. Wait, hang on. Some of these don't have materials. Why not? Oh, right, because they're the wall 03 stuff. So, like, this... Oh, I see. Some of these, yeah. Some of them have low res that I didn't get around to. Okay, just make these brick and mud, and then go to this thing. Surprised that I didn't put this here. So we can do copy. There we are. And now the real question is, will this perform better? I mean, it looks better, I think. I think this material here could be a different thing, because right now it's just this, like, red brick, where, you know, the colors kind of clash. So yeah, I think being more intentional with the texturing is an important thing. But otherwise, I think this looks pretty good. But okay. And we do have, I think the high res and low res could be a bit further. Yeah. Let's make that like 80 meters or something, or like 70 or something. So like scene import chunk. We'll have like var distance. So like low res distance equals like 80. Because right now it's just a hard-coded 50. Okay, and then we can go back to our walls. And we can go back to our crab hill. Oh, not these ones. We can go to here. I think this is going to be... Actually, I just realized. Oh, it's not even that slow. I was worried because it has to take a hash of every single mesh, so you'd think it could be slow. Because basically, Godot does not respect the like unique meshes or like duplicated meshes in GLB files. It makes each one a unique mesh, so then I have to go back in and unmake them unique. But okay, so now we should have convex colliders, and they work pretty well. Admittedly, they do still stick out a little bit more than I'd like. It's a bit obvious that they're squares. So I could increase the margin on them. But as I said, I could also just make it so that Jackie's collisions are smaller and, like, better suited to, like, narrow spaces. Man, the game is, like, stuttering. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll say this is now like how we do things. Because yeah, I do think it definitely looks more intentional, I think. Oh, there's something wrong with how it like pops in. How do I want to do that actually? Maybe some of them should be like hard edged. You know, if we go back to the walls. So like low res here, flat. I think this might be better for these ones because they use the hard normals. Actually, let's double check. So the GLB, okay, that does work. I should probably have done it with just like some of them at first. But oh well. Okay. And I did see it didn't show all of the names there, but... ah, well. So yeah, because I think especially with the... let's see them pop... okay, yeah, that's much more subtle. Especially because these have the hard and normals modifier. So that way, it's like, you can only see a very tiny bit of the actual bevel disappearing. Which does remove some of the, like, edge highlighting. But okay. That makes these better. And eventually I can make even more... I can make different LOD levels and automatically generate them and stuff like that in Blender. Now that I know how to, like, use the scripting somewhat. Oh right, that also has high res. So we have this. Copy. Paste. Alright, it's so bright anyway that it's like impossible to see it even. But okay. And here you can also see it subtly pops in. YouTube. Right in the middle of my song. Admittedly, I kind of just like running around, and I think it's just because now I have to do the harder work of, like, designing environments again. Because now we know what the walls can look like one potential idea for them. I mean, I guess I can just go through all of the wall. Well, no. The main thing I need to do is figure out where the walls are going to be. Because I have a decent idea for this. You know, that's probably going to be as it is now. The real question, where is everything else? What is everything else in this area? Do I want more rocks? I think we should do more rocks in here. I guess I could start with that. Well, no. What I should think about again is, what is the layout of the rest of this area? Is this how it is? Like, what is grown here? Should these buildings be here? Wait, and also these wall low res should be all, hang on. Hopefully that applies to all of these, not just the active ones. I think it did. And then these should all have, we go to here. There we go. Alright, hopefully that works as it should. It doesn't. It does some crazy, like, big-brained thing instead of just, like, making these work. That's okay. So now we can see there's not too much difference. Just the bevel itself disappears. So yeah, I think what I want to do now is consider what are people doing with these pathways. You know, are there going to be trucks in here? Because if there's going to be, we need to have like something like this. You know, make more room. Do we need these at all? Dissolve edges. Hi. Oh, thank you for the raid. I'm doing some relaxing modeling. Let's see, dissolve vertices. Oh no, that's not the right thing. Dissolve edges. Trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to want for this region. This little farm neighborhood. Yep. I can show some of the progress that's been made. The past couple days I've been working mostly on some funky, whatever it's called, mesh workflow stuff. Getting it so it's easy to like generate convex collision shapes from objects and stuff like that. And so now, if the stuttering stops eventually, got our mountain, got our little orchard here, we got grass, we got trees and all sorts of gizmos. What's the frame rate? Like, about 100, so it's pretty good, actually, especially for streaming as well. Yeah, so I've been working on this area for about a week now. And then the next step is to make the rest of the owl. And all the other buildings and stuff. And figure out like what I actually want to do for like the town. Thank you. And also I realize now these walls are not entirely straight. But I guess that's like, we can consider that intentional. It's hard to build straight walls this long at such irregular terrain. But alright, so that then leads to... What should I do next? What would I want for this building? Like this entryway? What would I want for equipment here? Oh, thank you, thank you, Windows, for taking 15 minutes to start up my thing. There we go. I got a little screen cap thing. There we go. How much of this stuff? I got a bunch of stuff open. Do I need all this? Yeah, because I was doing some crazy Blender scripting. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, have a good one. Thanks again for the raid. Yeah, so I'm thinking... Where's my tablet stylus? There we are. Okay, so let's also get out my old-fashioned reference document. So do we want something... I think we'd want something fancy. And maybe they'd even have like a front yard. Because I'm imagining these would be people who are moderately wealthy, since they do have like a big old thing. Like a big old olive garden. And I keep imagining the like restaurant. Do you want a sloped roof like this? I guess we could just have just an old-fashioned normal roof rather than that. And I'm realizing something you would want. You would not want a house to be built with a hill, like down a hill like this. Like with the entryway here. So you'd probably want like something here to like level off the ground and to like get water to slide down this way and this way rather than directly into like the basement and stuff. Thank you. And I just realized I'm painting directly on the main layer, but I guess it's too late for that to matter. So yeah, let's say for now it'd be like this, and then down here there'd be some sort of entrance to the like main way. And then I'm imagining almost like, maybe the foundations here would be like rock. Like now we would use the looser structure that we see like here of stonework. I keep forgetting this isn't alt tabbed away. So we'd have like a more modern fancy thing here. I keep doing it. Keep making the same mistakes. Would we want a second... I'm trying to figure out what exactly I'd like. Because I'm imagining like a mudroom almost. Or like, where would the door be? You know, like, would I want a door here, off to the side, and then we do something more interesting with this place? What I'll do... Let's start with... just something like simple. Actually, this seems about right. So if we did like, if this is the dimensions of the height of a house, like a height of a single story, Negative 1.5, so that way we can have like a full story down this way, like this. That would not work, actually, I'm seeing. Let's collapse these. So now we have a little Monopoly house. So this will be olive house collision. How am I going to want to deal with the roof here? I think basically something like this, where we do like push this up. Push this part down. That's what houses look like. And we could even split this up. Let's see. I don't care yet. The main thing right now is to figure out if I even like the dimensions of this house. Okay, grass. So we need to delete our grass here. Now you can see there's some issue. Oh, I just put 2,000 little bits of grass there. Okay, let's place some grass around here, because now this is smaller. And also, I know there's not enough grass in this little area here. Okay, so let's grab this thing. Let's do like concrete for now, just so that I can like, just so it's not distracting how bright it is, and then I can like get a sense of like the shape of it in the game world. It's taller than I thought it'd be. I thought 3.5 meters was like a good height, but I think it's a bit too tall for like a normal resident or residency. And that then makes this feel very tall for a roof. Alright, let's see this in action. I might have moved this down too much now. Alright. This feels about right for a house. So I have this house connected to this thing. And you can come down to here, and then there'd be probably some little, like, patio, like, simple little patio thing to, like, come down from the garden, or from the house into here. And then we'd probably need some sort of, like, shed. Where would we put a shed? Probably right in the middle of here, almost. Or off to the side here. So let's add, let's say, cube here. This is going to be stairs, high res. Hard normals. And we'll have it be basically the same, like, location. How do I want to do this, actually? I guess I'll do it like this. Let's do... No, I don't want to do that. I want to grab, like, this here. Do I need this here at all, really? I think I could do, like... collapse these. Actually, I think I can do the same thing here. There we are. And actually, I don't want hardened normals. Because this will eventually be, like a stone shape. That's, like, very obviously like a... This is made of, like, older material. And also, I'm going to do a similar thing with, like, this here. So what do I want exactly? I think what I want is this whole roof should be a separate thing. And that way... Oh. Yeah, this is what I wanted. There we are. So now, the olive house will be its own thing. This will be the roof of it, which can just be a convex shape. And I think actually if we make this a separate material as well, we can make this a static body, or like this its own thing. Wait, what did I do? Loose parts? Oh, we don't have loose parts. What did I do? I don't even know what I did. What I meant to do is that. And then we can separate this by loose parts. And then what we can do is we can have this whole thing be beveled, and this thing be beveled separately. Even better, I just realized what I actually want. Okay, so this is going to be the... Who's the main olive house? Alright. This will just be as it is. This will be a separate thing. Because what I want to do, actually... Dissolve edges. Why is this not... I was hoping dissolve edges would, like, work. I guess it did. I guess I'm just stupid. Dissolve those vertices. Just delete the vertices, then. What I want is this. So that way I can do this. So this is a separate thing. This is a separate thing. We can add a modifier to bevel this at, like, 0.3. But it's actually going to be by weight. Oop. So, mean bevel weight. There we go. Also, we should have this be like a new material that's like distinct, so that way I can actually see what's happening here. Because now, we're going to do the same thing here. And we're going to have generate bevel. By this weight. And so now we have olive house. That'll eventually be this will be the porch eventually. Actually, let's do cursor to world origin. No, cursor to selected. Mesh. No, empty. Plain axes. This is going to be orchard, house, make, static, body 3D. There we go. Because what I'm doing is like, this is going to be porch, high res. Oh, wait. Ah, well, I don't care. The way this works, it doesn't actually matter that I'm doing it this way. This seems very strange how this is done. Oh, what I'd actually want, hang on. I know what I want. Don't harden the normals here, because I need an extra bevel. And then this one will harden the normals. There we go. There we are. Yeah, so because I've made this so precisely, so beautifully, none of this even matters. So this should be stairs this should be stairs low res collision. So that way, we have the low res thing still. And I think eventually it should be based on the size of the bounding box of the mesh. But oh well. Wait, do we even need, like... What if I just dissolve the vertices here? No. Dissolve edges here. Okay, and then we can add little extra bits eventually. So this is all of house S or high res as well. Oh yeah, we actually need to now go through and, ooh, I know what I need to do. We need to go back to the text editor. Because we need to get every single, we don't need this. Copy for chunk. We need to go back down to here. Where do we get the bevel? Remove bevel modifiers, if there are. Bevels equals nothing. And then we do bevels dot append mod, and then for mod in bevels. There we go. So now what I can do is I can... Oh, I already have it down here. Well. Okay, so that creates a low-res S-body. And what does this low-res S-body look like? Okay, looks how I want it to. Except, I want it to be flat. I guess what I should do... Ooh, this is going to be tricky. I think what I'd like is to make the object have... That'd be too complicated. Basically, make it have flat shading if the modifier has the harden normals modifier. Otherwise, don't. But okay, and here we have the same thing. We have the thing that we always have had. But okay. Oh. Not quite right. There we are. So I think for the porch and for the stairs, we just have brick, mud. Nothing crazy. And then for... Ooh, hang on. I need this to come back in a little bit so that way our like bevels work. Wait, what did I just delete? Oh, I see. Okay, so now we can generate this thing. And then we can do flat. And then it'll work probably. So this thing, let's do like eventually it'll be like noise. I think what we can do actually. We can make it like an off-white color. And then here, eventually, if we can like select things. It's weird to me how like incorrect Godot's click to select can be. Like, it feels like it's hell-bent on clicking on everything except the thing that I'm clicking on. So, Veiler. Didn't I have like a... So we have roof tiles. Mm-hmm. Let's go to UV edit mode. Unwrap angle based. So the main thing that I want here is, I think for both of these, so which way does this roof go? Okay, so it goes from like top to bottom. So I need to figure out, first of all, like which side is which. Actually, I just had a great idea. What if I just do image open? And then we go to like project, material, environment, baler, roof tile. And then we have the same thing here. So like if I have these materials, I think this is going to be a unique material. How do we like, oh, there it is. Image texture. Roof tiles. And we don't need that anymore. Cursor to selected, selection to cursor. Selected, selected. So now we can see they're symmetrical. And then that means that this whole thing here, so roof, and then all of this will be like, who cares? It'll be something else. Okay, main spatial. And then, roof tiles. Wow, it just does whatever it wants. Godot just does whatever the fuck it wants. Select the wrong thing? Why not? Okay, so there we are. Main texture. Boom. Albedo, all of this, softness, specularity. Let's increase the specularity a smidge. Well, we don't really use specularity that much, but oh well. And you know what? Let's just copy this material for now. Oh, this material. I forgot there's a low-res mesh in there. So yeah, that's certainly not going to be right for very long. And also, do I want to make it so that it's like one of these types of roofs? Hmm. Well, let's mark a seam here at least. I think my main thing is I want this to be like almost flush with the wall, because it's weird that it's not. Okay. Actually, I don't think it imported it properly, but oh well. And actually, I've done this, but what I really needed was still to make it a bit higher. So this whole thing needs to be up more. So that way there's actually like a lip between the ground and the like hill. And then I think all of this should probably be fine. And I just realized what I could have done was make it duplicate with the modifier, or duplicate with the same like data. Because I can actually do that better by just... Thank you, Blender. Alt D, and then do this. Especially for simple things like this, it'll typically be faster to just remove like at least this bevel, and then like flat. Then like 21. Yeah, I'll just do both of those. Is this... Seems like it didn't change how it was supposed to. What? Hang on. Stop this madness. I've done it wrong. And I moved it to the wrong place. Okay, now everything should just work. Just work like magic. Yes, there we are. Okay, and now it's correct because it does this thing here. Though admittedly now, this bevel is getting a lot more obvious. So actually, I think I do need to keep a bevel in here. We can remove one of the other ones. Yeah, we can remove the small bevel, but not the big bevel. In fact, I kind of want this to be like 0.4 or something. I think. Is that what I want? Admittedly, I'm like going too deep into it, I think. Ah, well. So yeah, we have our roof. Big and honestly kind of too saturated. And then eventually we can add more details to it, like doors and stuff. But for now, it's just kind of doing its thing. And then I can figure out what I want for the other doors. Because I think... Or the other houses. Like, for example, is this the right material for the roof? And also, now there's no way onto it. And you can see Jackie's eyes, like, sinking in. But okay. Mesh, like, cube here. Okay, so this will be like ramp S body. Now it's wheelchair accessible. So I don't know why I keep setting the instance stuff there, but that's okay. Okay, brick, mud. Let's say this is a good enough start for this house. Am I gonna do... I think for most of the other houses, I'm gonna do a simpler prefab system for obvious reasons. So let's think about what I actually want for these houses. Because most of them are going to be more apartment style, I'd say. So we have these buildings. Where are my other buildings that I had? Jak 4, concept art, environment. It might be in here still. Didn't they have a whole bunch of... Yeah, things more like this, I think, are going to be like the more common design. Not quite that simple. Hmm. Oh, you know something I'm noticing on these walls that I kind of like? I like the little roof-like thing. I'll think on how to do that. But okay, so I think we need a few different styles of little roof. So where are we at? April 23 plus. I guess let's just keep working on this. What did I want to do for May? A lot of stuff. But we're going to go through this all. In fact, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to organize it. Four house styles, rock, mud, brick, covered brick. Let's start with, I don't think we need rock. I don't think I want rock. Square frames, but mud rock, much more even. Yeah, that was the target, but I think it's going to be July. Okay, so let's look at mud brick houses. Oh. And something that you'll see quite a lot in these mud houses is sticks here, which I believe is to basically direct water off of the building. Basically to avoid exactly this, where like water can seep into these cracks and then like exacerbate them. You know, the intention is when it rains, the water will like pool and then drip. And that's also why the stick has to be pointing down a bit. And on more sophisticated housing, they have pipes, I think. But I'm also just kind of making this up. Yeah, I haven't actually double checked it, but I'm pretty sure that's why it's done. Oh. Because you'll see it a lot, specifically in mud brick housing. So what is... What is our goal here? Or I guess, what is my design here? Oop. Oh, whoops. Put these two on top of each other. Well, then bring that one back, because I like that one. So I think the actual level of polish that I'm going to be going for is between this one and this one, where we'd have some brick and wood materials for frames, but it wouldn't be quite as smooth. And so let's start with like I think something that comes out a bit forward, maybe. So I gotta remember where my Afghan... Because I had also some old references to villages that I was looking at. Where basically most of the houses had like a front yard that was walled off completely. And they had an outhouse that was accessible only on the outside of the house. In fact, don't I have that stuff still? Plateau Town? Is that still not... Is that not here? Did I I must have deleted all of that. That's a shame. Because I think that is kind of what I'd be going for here again. Wait, I literally have that open already. Oh, I was like, Georgia the state? No, Georgia the country. Okay. So what does a roof look like here? I think what we'd have is more like this, where it's a walled section. So you can see in here there's like a little little walled in section here between these two other little building areas. I think the prefabs that I'd want. I guess let's start with just making cubes in here. So like I think we'd do 3 meters tall rather than 3.5. And so this would be 1 story. And then we could do like Have like a little cube like this, and then at the top of it, what exactly do I want from this image? Probably the roof to be a thing. Like that. And then I say bevel this. Smooth. Then we can have this be like house segment 1. Or this will be like mud. What should this be called? House mud segment 1 small square. I'll just call it mud 1. High res maybe. Well, do I want this as a separate thing? I think we need this to be like 40. 60? There we go. Oh wait, but there's some mess in here. There we go. And I'm thinking, I guess I know what I can do. I can do the same thing that I've been doing. So we're just going to have like this here be a separate material. And then also, you don't even need this at all. We don't even need this, actually. Dissolve edges. Dissolve edges. There we go. I don't know what I want. So this is like a little thing that would be like probably up higher like that. And then we'd need a different one, so like more like this. So this would be house mud. Oh wait. 1 high res. House mud 2 large. Oh wait, and actually, oh wait, I didn't even realize that I still had this here. Okay, medium point. Okay. And we need this to be pretty subtle. So do I want this to have like this basically, where it's like a separate thing? And then you can see potentially how it would kind of fit together with other things like this. And we would not want to use, I think, this wall material here, because this one is fancy. Okay, let's keep that as it is. So let's say this would be like the outhouse here. What exactly would I want here? Does anything here even make sense? No, so I just realized... Oh wait, yeah. Let's have this run. See what this does. Let's have this be... Oh. A empty plane axes. So if this is house 1. Test. Let's just call it... So we'll make it as it was. Wait, why is this the top one? Oh, I see. Because this should be here. Actually, delete all these. Okay. Let's try some of this, where I just do, like, make a bunch of stuff. Oh wait, where are all these errors coming from? Mob call, nothing selected. Okay, so I think it's basically... Was I wrong at all? No, we got this stuff. But I don't think it's working right, because if we go here... So all of these are wrong. Yes, okay, so these are wrong. And the low res... Yes, that seems wrong too. Ah, okay. That's classic issue. Split the materials. Okay. So now we can go in and we can do this. Kind of. For some reason, it's not doing quite what it's supposed to do. Am I fucking stupid? So now if we do this, and I select this, okay. Does that work for this one? If I select this? Okay, so that worked for this one. Now let's try it. No. So why is this not working? Am I like gaslighting myself? What the fuck is going on? Are these two separate things? So if I did like this, and then we did this, and then if we get this and we did this. Okay, so that one works. So we don't need this low res, we can do this. Okay, there we go. And then this, and then this. Okay. So now I have the power to create these. So I'm going to test this by basically changing the type of the object here. Oh wait, hang on. There we are. Okay, so all of these houses and all of these men need, for now, just mud brick. And we can eventually have a different material. But for now, it'll just be that. And then what I want is to change this. So anything that has the name make, it should then get the like last part of it or the next part of it. Ooh, that's actually going to be pretty difficult to do. Let's do like if make, or like if match and make. And then we can have, let's do like R make, or like, regex.new, and then or make.compile. Oh wait, single quotes are my style. This will be dash and then anything that is not digits. Wait, no, it could be anything that's digits, but then it needs to have dot, or actually can have like a slash dot slash d plus question mark $sign. And then this can be anything in here. And I need to figure out how to get this. Jeez, they changed how control works, but oh well. Or like control arrows. Now, like, why are they different? Like, control left goes one character, and then it goes all the way to the side of compile. And then I do control right. It goes to the parenthesis, and then to after D. Drives me crazy. Oh wait, no, this should be actual dot, not slash dot. Okay, so if match for m equals r make dot search n dot name. We'll just do that. If m for class cname equals m dot capture, I think it's actually like m1. Oh, dot strings. Okay. So the returned array is copied, and any changes will do that. Only string or string name can be used as index for type regex max, but received int. How do we do named captures? Returns the substring of the match from the source string. Okay, so we do get dot get string instead of dot this. Okay, so this gets us the actual class name, and then we're going to print debug tried to make class name and we'll have like a r make or like remove and cname. Okay, so now we can go back to farms. And if we re-import this, it should now look normal in the sense that house 1 now does not have dash make dash blah at the end. But it's still not a static body, because now we need to actually figure out how to make an instance of a class. So can we go to the class DB? Ah, we can. So if not, class DB dot class exists cname push error does not exist. So making, let's do this. Actually, we need to do match here. %s, class does not exist, %s. So this will be n.name and then cname. Make, okay. Else. Let's do like this here. Actually, what do I want exactly? How do we replace a node in the scene while preserving all of its children, or changing the type of the thing? Can I do like change type? Try like Godot change type of node from script. Internally, it calls replace by to change the node type, so that should work just fine. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we can just replace type with, well, maybe we can do that. Basically, I imagine making cname. So like n.replace by n2 equals class db.make, or like how do we can instantiate? Actually, let's do like if not class cannot be instantiated. Okay, we can just instantiate it directly. Cname as node. If not n2, we have another error. Else, and replace by n2. So making %s, so class was not a node type. Okay. Let's see if that works if we now re-import. Almost? What happened? 1 trillion of the exact same thing here. So what I'm seeing is, for some reason, it doesn't remove the name and it doesn't turn this into a static body. But when is this crap done? Hang on. I need to like go to my grass and figure out like why this is happening so often. Like, where is it happening? Is it in here? No, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, why is instant count, why is custom data being set anywhere? Okay, I saw it in here after 1 quadrillion messages that are completely irrelevant. Making, house, make. Class does not exist, make static body. Oh. Okay, so it needs to be, it needs to be anything that is not a dash. I keep messing that up. Tilde, dash. And there should actually be a literal dash. And a literal period. So we can't have dashes or periods in the name of it. And actually, no underscores probably. No, I guess underscores are fine. Okay, try re-importing this. We'll have another quadrillion errors. But now, the static body exists, but it's in the wrong location. Okay, we're getting close. Oh wait, but then what we need to do is we actually need to return n2. Or we need to do n equals n2. And we need to do n2.name equals cname. Or n2.name equals n.name. I think we just have this up here instead. Because, like, I'll know what it's supposed to look like. And then n2.name equals n.name. And then we just swap them out. Well, let's do that. And then also var t equals n dot transform. And n2 dot transform equals n dot transform. Okay, now it's in the correct place and everything is right and everything is hunky-dory, and now we can create basically anything we want in here. And I'm going to do brick. And admittedly, currently this is actually irrelevant because I don't actually need to create all of these as this. But, you know, eventually this will be correct. I hope eventually this becomes fast to work on with all of these, like, little systems and tools and things. Yeah, I forgot to make this look good, but oh well. I mean, I think nobody's exactly going to write home about how wonderful this looks, but it is functional. And I think the main thing that I would want is a more subtle thing here. Probably just like plain walls rather than these like elaborate like big stone pillar walls. It's like, what happens if we... Okay, it's not too different, actually. They get a little darker. But yeah, this is an area where we'd want the, like, bounding box. In fact, I can literally do that. I have the power to do that. Just in here. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. We don't even need that. I didn't realize that the transform is actually preserved when you remove something from the tree. But okay. What if... Oh my god. Get RM... Does this work? No. Okay. Cheating. Okay, so the rest of these... I found out recently that these deprins are completely pointless. Okay, and the rest of this, so... walls and stuff. And now what we can do is get... Oh, wait. Brick material. Oh, wait, no. Git commit. This has to be amended. Because otherwise, the game would be broken. Okay. So now the rest of these... we can just remove them. The deprins are like a bug. The thing is, now that I'm doing so much stuff, I'll keep doing stuff in here. Okay, because the real thing is now to actually just turn these into things, because I think the scale of them is good. Well, actually, let's put some doors on them. Let's put some actual doors on them. And the way these outhouses are going to work is they're going to have doors facing like this, because from what I saw, the doors were very short and they had little steps leading up to them. So it's like not a proper little area. It's like just a little tiny thing. And yeah, I guess my real question now is, do I want to place stuff in Blender or do I want to place stuff in Godot? Because I guess if I do it in Blender, I can always just like impromptu model things. Now let's get our little object placer in here. So this is going to be window, simple. Oh, doesn't work anymore. Oh, okay. Should actually have this be like 0.01 maybe. And then we can have, so you can see now. Oh. Actually, I know what to do. So node e.name plus equals string get child count. Boom. So now we have little windows that I can place, and they're completely misaligned. And then I have the other little thing, the pole type thing. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'd want this up here or what I'd actually want here. But yeah, for now I'm just gonna fiddle with like just placing them as if they're placed. You know what I mean? And then where's my little little post? No, that's not what I want. Sign large, sign, payphone, shop, military. Wood thing? My throat is like drying out for some reason. Oh. Oh. My eyes were like watering. Okay, so there's some sort of thing that I need that's like made of wood. Is it a dibbly? It's a dibbly. That's what it is. Okay, so these should now be called dibbly S-body, but what I can do is this can be, actually we can just do default. There we go. And now we can have like a wood triplanar. No. We need triplanar. And then like wood. And then sand. And like 1 and 1. There we go. And now I can get the Dibbly. Because these make it come alive, you see. And I feel like they're most appropriate when they're spaced pretty regularly, but I'm not sure exactly what I want. But okay, let's see this in action. Because right now this is mostly just like a visual test of like what am I missing to make this town feel good. Yeah, I think the main thing that I'm missing is I'd like the walls back. Because in the cities that I've made before, that's basically the main thing. And I think what I really want as well is probably to not have the lip, actually. Or maybe, I'm not sure exactly what I'd want with that. I kind of want to just relax now. Yeah, right now I'm just kind of... Hang on, I'm going to move my mic a bit closer to where I'm like just leaning back now. So yeah, not too much has changed now. Like, I think these walls, I guess they look more interesting than just the flat walls, at the very least. But yeah, like I said, the color could be better. I think I'd want like a more subtle difference between the mud brick and the like more powerful or like stronger stone. And then out here we'd probably want, I guess, you know, this area is fine, honestly. I can imagine more stuff in here, but I should probably not like spend 2 weeks on just one little area that doesn't actually have any gameplay associated with it right now. I think the important thing is, oh. Hang on. So what is this? This is house 1. So we need to get to our windows. Let's put these in here for now. And then all those windows were somewhere. The Dibbly's in the windows. They go right there. And then this thing can be deleted soon. Because yeah, I think they're good enough. Basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to probably delete all of these. Well, I'm going to delete all the generated objects and stuff. And also, I should change it so that these... well, I'll keep them as they are. Low res, low res, low res, low res. And we also don't need these at all because we're just going to bring these back in. And I don't think we need these here either, because I'm thinking now, I think I am just going to make it so anything that is not like, no, I'm still really divided on how I'm going to do this. Like how I want to actually, you know, lay things out in Blender, lay things out in Godot, lay some of it out in Blender, because I have things that are like, I have tools that are really nice in Godot, like that object placer in the grass. And so I'm inevitably going to be making things, some of it in Godot. But okay, can I save, like, what if we did... I know what I can do. New collection. Save separately. And there we go. So now these are going to be like their own little universe. So file, append. Oh. Farms, collection, save separately. Delete that. So I'm going to say house mud 1. And that'll go into, I think it should go into city. Yeah. House mud 2, large. Okay. Environment. City. Placeholder, save these. Okay. Oh wait, no. It is assets. Make low res. Beautiful. So now, these work as they should. Open recent mud 2. Actually, do we have? No, we don't. I was gonna say, because I thought I saw something, but it was just like, it was just telling me that there was nothing. Okay. But now, beautiful. House, mud. Oh, and we also don't need this at all. Oh, wait. We don't need this at all. And we don't need the house here. Or the houses here. Hopefully I didn't delete anything important. Oh, wait, hang on. This is gonna save a trillion billion things. Let's do that. There we go. Okay. Static body 3D. Okay. City should be, oh, entities environment city. There we go. So now we can do all of our beautiful things. Mud. And for now, like that. So we got city, we got a billion test things. So what I'm going to do is probably have just like neighborhoods. Mesh, no, empty, plain axes. This will be like a city area or city zone 1. And basically we'll just do our classic environment city, house 1. So this is, what is this, city, house, mud 1. House, mud 2, large. Basically back to exactly as we were before. Actually, I like this right up next to this wall here. I don't know if that's going to stay, though. Yeah, here we'll have like our wall. We're gonna need some more, like, houses. Because I think the main thing that we'll want is the thinner, longer house. So we'll just do, oh, okay, there we go. House 3, so mud 3 long. I think I'd like an even longer house. And also what I think I'd do, something like that. So who should be what? What should be who? Negative 2.5. I think there should be like 4.4. And then this should go up. Maybe this should be like 4.6, so that way now I have like a clear view of like what I want. Okay, and then we can simplify. And then, there we go. Oh, and also new inherited scene. There we go. Oh, and I said I was going to do something with the bounding box for the mesh, didn't I? You know what? Let's do that as well. So yeah, scene import chunk. Actually, let's just do... First of all, save what I've done. Fixing our houses. And we should also do a lot of stuff here. Walls and houses and scripting. Okay. And so from this, now what I want to do is make the bounding box. So when we do high res and low res, I think what I want is... Let's see, let's do var m or var AABB equals m dot get axis aligned bounding box. Returns the bounding box for this visual instance. Good. And once we have that, we do var perimeter equals floor bb dot width and so this gets us some number, and what we'd like is for this to be as close as possible to the number that we get for the low res. And so we do like a low res factor. Let's do like min low res distance, max low res distance, which would be like, let's say 800 and then like 20 meters. And then low res factor would be like 0.4 or something like that. Because what I'm actually, what would it be? No, I think what we'd like instead is an approximation of the area of the object. Because this gets us, we could do the square root of a squared plus b squared plus c squared, or we could just do a squared, or a plus b plus c. You know what? Clamp. Or let's do like visibility range n equals res distance m. And so what that's going to be is our function res distance. Or return like 1.0. Okay. And now what we can do is the bounding box is this. Actually, we can just do S size. Oh. And then we return clamp key times low res factor max or min low res distance max low res distance and this is int print key, or like let's do percent s equals percent d modulo m dot name s no e. Okay, so if I re-imported, say, the mud, let's see what the numbers we get are. So the house mud, okay. So I think what I'd want then is probably this low res factor to be like 4. Because I'd like this to be visible. See how that feels. How does this feel? How are these visibility ranges working? Did I like... Huh. Is this thing not working yet? Oh, whoops. Huh. So why isn't this working? Because it should be scene import chunk. And then that should get our low res distance. Yeah. And it gets this here, actually. It prints this correctly. Let's do like var result equals this. Float d into %f result. Okay. And actually, I think I want this to be even higher. This to be like 6 or something. Because my main objection was the houses should be further than 80 meters. So naturally, I should probably like make them larger than 80 meters. Okay, so 102 meters. And then what we could do is we could go to like the wall broken stuff. So if I tried like one of these, for example, or which little things did we have for like what are these little things here? Ruin small barrier? Oh wait, this is like not even like part of the... Yeah. Go to the ruin small barrier. So like what does this look like? 30 meters? Yeah, that seems about right. And so now the real question is, does this actually like get the thing to do the visibility range stuff? Because it seems like it's not changing this stuff. Like once this is set, it seems like it's not changing. Like, why isn't this different? You think it'd do that? Maybe I need to close all tabs. And then we can do, for example, re-import all of these. Because it's definitely printing the things. And also, we should probably disable the printing now. Don't need all of this stuff. We only need areas that are, or we only need bugs. Okay. Okay, good, good, good. Now these are working. And then what we can do is we can go to our walls. We can do all these. Re-import these buttes. And I'm sure that's fine. We can do our houses. Hopefully no other errors. Okay. So now things should be, they should have like more intention behind their like visibility ranges and stuff. So like if we go to this thing, 168 meters, that seems about right. Well, admittedly, that seems like it's long enough that it's basically going to be impossible to even see. But if we look at it from a distance, maybe we'll get far enough that we can actually see that happen. Because it should be imperceptible. Let's do item telescope. Oh, it already happened. Yeah, you can see all of those are not beveled anymore. And then they do get beveled. And you can see there's a subtle bug with that one where the bevel or the like clipping is only hidden by the bevel. But oh well. I won't fix it yet. Someday I might. But okay, I have now spent a large amount of time on only this feature. Yeah, our next step will be other things, presumably. Yeah, it is funny how the telescope also makes it really obvious that this is not based on, like, view size, which is annoying because that was kind of like... That's one of the big advantages of Godot's automatic LODs, so it's a shame that I can't, like, use handmade models with the system. But oh well. Do I want to do more today? I mean, I haven't really done much. I guess I have. I replaced this wall. And then I developed all sorts of new, like, scripts. We can actually see pretty prominently where the two circles are. Well, actually, there's multiple circles of the grass, like, fading in. Ah, well, I'll figure that out soon. The grass has to be different anyway for max performance. But I do like how this grass looks. Maybe I'll just accept that it'll only run at 100 FPS and not 144. Yeah, I chose this surprisingly well. In this number. Because it's imperceptible, but it's just at the range of imperceptible from here. Like, you can see a smidge of it. If you're looking closely at the objects, you can see them popping in. But the shadows changing. Like, the cascades of the shadows are much more visible. So that'll probably, like, mask the transition. And you can see things like the... Oh, those already changed, didn't they? Admittedly, they probably change a bit too quickly. Yeah, we probably need to make the minimum value a bit higher. Because, yeah, it's really more about the size of the bevel rather than the size of the, well, I guess it's both. Well, do I want to change it? Oh, wait. No, that's what I need. Because, yeah, you can see him pop in. But I'll leave it for now. I can always change those numbers and re-import stuff. I've been sitting here a lot. I need to make a new vista. That should be my goal for tomorrow, to make another place that I like to sit on like this one. Though maybe it's nice that this is like sort of just the happening spot, basically. Wait, hang on. If we want a nice shot, I keep forgetting that little UI element on the right. It doesn't turn off by default, so I have to like show the things. But yeah, I think my next goal should be to just use the things that I've now made and just make another nice area. Make like some nice houses. I think it'd be this neighborhood here. Figure out what I want to do with it. You know, what are the trees, you know, how many trees are there going to be that are like other species and stuff like that. Hmm. Oop. Hmm. And I think what I'll do is I'll place all of the houses in Blender, excuse me. But I'll place the entities maybe on the houses. You know, directly parent them to them. And do it in Godot since I have like my convenient setup. And then I can just move the houses around without doing too much stuff. Hmm. But okay. I'm going to call that good for now. We've done work. So I think this stuff soon. Maybe I'll keep it simple. Keep it to like just the mud brick like textures that I have already. Oh. Improved importing. Okay, push all this stuff. And yeah, then I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully get the neighborhood done, or at least get a good start on it. I'll have to make a few more trees, but those should be pretty fast. Maybe bushes as well. It feels like I changed more things. Did I do an extra, like, commit? Because, like, I changed more than 2 files. I re-imported a whole bunch of things. Oh, but I guess because the GLB file, maybe it doesn't save the import settings. That would make sense, kind of. Even though the GLBs are, like, meaningfully different. But okay, let's save this as, like, mud houses. And that'll go into Crab Hill. Maybe the farms? Where should it be? Why is, oh, it's because I'm going into here. Okay, that makes sense. And that explains why I'm very inconsistent about which files I load from and look at. Okay, we don't need to save any of the other ones, because that's going to be it for today. I'll be back tomorrow with more visual stuff, and it'll be very exciting. We'll get all sorts of walls and buildings and plants. But okay, see you later.